Yeah, I need to get myself together over here. This is crazy. Uh, See, there we go. All right, there we go. I'm sorry for the little technical difficulty. But anyway, this your boy EC22 of the FairWeather Fan channel, man. Thank you for watching, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, leave comments, join the conversation. If you're over on YouTube, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live so you can join the conversation in YouTube on real time. Before we get into today's topics, man, of sports, man, I just want to throw this quick topic out there or a question out there. Um, Apparently Stephen A. Smith had a huge problem with the BET Awards, including O.J. Simpson in their memoriam. Um, he took to his podcast and it had something to say about it. Now, listen, Stephen A. Smith has long stated his disdain or his dislike for O.J., considering him a double murderer and that he don't like black people. So, so I don't, you know, I wouldn't necessarily consider him a murderer because he's got acquitted of all charges. But anyway, um, Stephen A. Smith was upset that the BET Awards included him in the memorial, included O.J. Simpson in the memoriam. And y'all listen, I know there are a lot of folks out there that don't like OJ, and maybe rightfully so, right? Definitely the Brown family don't like him. The Goldman family don't like him. Those who, just don't like him as a player or kind of side with Stephen A. Smith that suggests that he is a murderer. He did what he did. But y'all, the BET Awards have traditionally done this to when somebody black of a celebrity or somebody of influence or in our community pass away. During the BET Award, they highlight all the people who've passed away. And it would have been kind of weird if they didn't include them because OJ, he did pass away. But as much as people out there that don't like OJ, there are obviously some people that do like OJ, like his family, obviously the people at BET were in the committee who decided to put him in the memoriam. Obviously they rock with OJ, at least in the sense of showing respect. Now, the fact that they put him in there doesn't mean that they agree with everything that OJ did. They just wanted to show their respect for the man and his whole career, not just the negative stuff. So, but I get why Stephen A. don't like it, but y'all, Faison Love, Willie D, and others went after his head. I mean, they had a lot to say about Stephen A. And Stephen A. tried to defend himself. The only one thing I would say about that, and I'll jump off it, is that I don't have a problem with Stephen A. having an opinion, but I don't like the way he did it. I felt like he did it in a fashion to try to, as most mainstream media do, control the narrative and try to tell us black folks how to think and what to think. And I don't like that, telling us that we shouldn't rock with OJ because OJ didn't like black people. Those are your words, not mine, Stephen A. Smith. And then he kind of misquoted. He was trying to quote a verse from Jay-Z song, and I don't even know where it came from. He said, I'm not OJ. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay, I guess there's something song in the Jay-Z song. I don't know. But that wasn't OJ's a full statement. He said, I'm not black, nor am I white, I'm OJ. And I can only imagine on a time back in that time in the 80s when probably when you see the 80s or 90s when he said it, the race tensions were kind of high. And so especially with him being on both sides, being accepted by the other community, I can see where he can say that, y'all. I don't want to just say I'm black. I don't want to say I'm white as the black folks trying to throw me away, but I'm a human being. My name is OJ, Orenthal J. Simpson. So like I say, I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith having a problem with all that, but I got a comment. What's going on, Lou, man? Thank you for tuning in, man. But like I say, I don't have a problem with Stephen A. Smith, have a problem with OJ, but I just don't like the way he tends to try to control narratives of mine. But moving on from Stephen A. Smith, y'all, listen, we had some boxing over this past weekend, and let's go ahead and do a quick review of what we saw in boxing, y'all. And y'all know I give boxing, I tear boxing up, man. Boxing is losing its popularity. It's not fun to watch as much as anymore. I mean, I think the 80s and the 90s was like the golden era of boxing, but now this is what we got to deal with. We got to deal with boxing matches like this here. The Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal fight was over the weekend, and two ex-MMA fighters are now boxing. And y'all, it was a good fight. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good fight. Said if you know Nate Diaz, if you know Jorge Masvidal, these guys were UFC fighters, man. Good UFC fighters are in their prime. I always rock with Nate Diaz, man. But this fight felt like two guys in the backyard fighting. It was a good fight, especially if you know the history. You know, they fought once before in UFC. I think Masvidal won, and then now this is their round 2 in boxing. It's a good fight. But if you're looking in under the umbrella of boxing, this was a terrible boxing fight. Oh my God, this was terrible. I mean, y'all, it was fun to watch because I know the guys, but man, when you start trying to look at it as a boxing match, you're gonna be highly disappointed. And this was bad. This was bad boxing. I mean, they swinging, leaving their arms out there, leaving themselves open. Thank God they wasn't fighting real boxers, or it wouldn't even lasted all rounds. But at the end of the day, Nate Diaz won in the decision. So it was a good fight for the fans who like those guys, but this was not boxing at all. And no disrespect to those guys, but they're trying to do something else with their career, but this was not boxing. Another fight that we saw over the weekend. Hey, fun fact about Jorge Masvidal, and I was doing some research and I found this, that Kimbo Slice is the one that brought him on. Y'all know the famous YouTube star, Kimbo Slice, tried to get in the UFC, but Kimbo was doing his Facebook thing, YouTube thing, whatever, going out there and beating up people. And then he got tired of being the only one fighting, so he decided, hey, let's make this a thing where we bring on other fighters. And Jorge Masvidal was one of the first guys he reached out to start his internet campaign on backyard brawling, I guess is what you call it. But anyway, Shakur Stevenson versus Arturim Haratoyim. Y'all, I'm probably butchering old guy's name, but that is what it is. He beats the guy. And me personally, I'm a fan of Shakur Stevenson, but people was kind of upset, the fans. The fans were saying it was a boring fight, and if you looked at it from that standpoint, most people's looking for Shakur Stevens to get in his bag and really, beat old boy down. He won by unanimous decisions. Nobody thought nowhere in the fight that Arturim was even in the fight, but I think fans wanted to see more, and I get it. But y'all fans, boxers have to learn to respect their opponent, and you don't want to go off there and try to beat a guy down. At the end of the day, he won. And that's what the other boxing fighters were saying. The other professional boxers were saying that Shakur did his thing. He won the fight. He didn't get hurt. And he won unanimously. So what more can you ask for from Shakur Stevenson, right? He did his thing. But people are mixed emotion. Now he turns around and says after the fight that he's ready for Tank Davis. Now this one got a lot of people's attention. He said he's ready for one Gervonta Tank Davidson. And I would say this: if not Shakur Stevenson, then who will be the next person to fight Gervonta Tank Davis? Who should he fight next? Some people are throwing out names like Vasily Lomachenko. I think that's how it's saying, Vasily Lomachenko. They're throwing his name out there. Ryan Garcia was on the top list, but you saw what happened to him. We'll get with him in a minute. And Devin Haney was out there for a little while, but a lot of people kind of pulled back on Devin Haney because of the fight that he lost against Ryan Garcia. My opinion is this. Obviously, because people like records. Shakur Stevenson undefeated. You see that Gervonta Davis undefeated. You saw that's how they sold the Frank Martin fight, undefeated versus undefeated. So it seemed like that this may be something in the running to get him to fight Shakur Stevenson, but they may try to get him to fight Vasily next. You know what I'm saying? A 36-year-old guy, a veteran in this game. Obviously doesn't have the type of career. He has a very extensive and outstanding what they call it, with that non-professional, it's not rookie, but what they call it, amateur career. Yeah. Vasily has a great amateur career, but that may be the fight they try to sell first to give the Gervonta Davis to make way for the Shakur Stevenson fight, which would make sense. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm still sold on Devin Haney. Y'all, because at the end of the day, man, when all said and done, that goddamn Ryan Garcia cheated. He cheated. Man came in overweight, failed 2 drug tests prior to the fight of performance-enhancing drugs. If you watch the fight, he looked like he was on something else. And at the end of the day, when you put all these clauses and stuff in the contract, all you're trying to do is make the playing field even. And Devin Haney went into a fight that I believe Ryan Garcia made up his mind he wasn't going to lose. He was going to win that fight by any means necessary, and he got the better of Devin Haney. Devin Haney is now undefeated. because they declared that win that Garcia had as a no contest. They took the fight away from him because of all the stuff that he went through. So I still like Devin Haney. I think he was a quicker fighter than Shakur Stevenson. So we'll see what happens, but he's my top guy to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Is Devin Haney, but we'll see how it all falls down at the end of that day. At the end of the day, y'all, he needs some help. Ryan Garcia needs some help. Not only did he, didn't honor the contract by making a weight for the Haney fight, fell into drug tests. Then, of course, you already seen he's been having all this nonsense surrounding his name for a while now. Now he goes on these racial slurs and all this stuff on social media and then he got himself banned for boxing for a while. His family puts out a statement saying that he needs some help. He's going to get some help. When your mama and daddy start talking about you, yeah, you need some help. So this is not good for boxing. The little bit of boxing we do got, this is not good. So I don't know when we'll see Ryan Garcia again. I hope we see him, and I hope he get his stuff together. But y'all, I don't know. The kid needs some help. But enough with that. We got some upcoming fights, y'all. Let's talk about these upcoming fights to kind of give my little 2 cents on these upcoming fights before we jump off on here. But before we go, let's do a plug-in for, hey, at the top of the hour, join us over there at Facebook Talk Radio on Facebook, man. Join us with Coach Martez Turner, also with the Professor Lewis Medford, and then our boy Tawakin Claiborne, the officer man, and myself, the FairWeather Fan, at the top of the hour on Facebook. Join us over there. But let's get into these upcoming boxing matches. We have this fight, Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. Once again, not a traditional boxing fight. It's only an 8-rounder. Jake Paul is a social media star, and Mike Perry is a former bare knuckle brawler. Once again, Jake Paul is not fighting a traditional boxer. And the one boxer he did fight, he lost, which was Tyson Fury's brother, I think it was Tommy Fury. So once again, not a traditional fight. Jake Paul has stated that after the Mike Tyson fight, which goes on later this year, he is going to try to compete for a gold medal in the World Cup next year, 2025. Mike Perry can hit hard. I ain't gonna lie, he can hit hard. He's a bare knuckle brawler. So this may be a good context for Jake Paul as far as power, but once again, this guy is not a traditional boxer. So once again, Jake Paul probably get the better of him because Jake Paul just been in the lab as a boxer. Mike Perry just got into the lab as a boxer for this fight. So we'll see if his camp got him prepared. But usually that's not the way it works. It's muscle memory. All right. Next on this is kind of an underrated fight, or most people not really talking about this fight. Yeah, I don't know what happened with I'm still live. I don't know what happened with the feed over there, but something's going on with StreamYard right now. But I'm going to finish it up like this here. But anyway, let's keep it rolling. Clarissa Shields versus Vanessa LePage Jonesy. Listen, Clarissa Shields, she's been she's tough. The girl is tough. But here's the crazy thing about this fight. She's jumping up a few weight classes to fight this girl. She's a middleweight champion. She got the whole thing swept up, the whole division swept up, undisputed, 14-0 in her professional career, 65-1 in her amateur career. Clarissa is decorated. She got 2 gold medals in the Olympics, 2 gold medals in World Cup, and then 1 Pan American gold medal. I mean, the girl can box. The girl can box. And then Vanessa LePage, this girl won 3 fights, lost 1, then took a 6-year hiatus. And this is Jonesy. And then she just came back in 2023. From 2023, March of 2023 to March of 2024, she's fought 4 times. Four times. So I think she comes in a record of 8-1 or 8-1. So yeah, 8-1. So she fought 5 times in the last year. So I mean, she's back in her bag. She's a big girl, traditional heavyweight. The one that she lost, that sent her on a little her sabbatical hiatus, she was pretty heavy at that time, but she slimmed down. She's a big girl. But Clarissa says she's comfortable fighting at 175, which they both agreed to. With them both fighting at 175, Vanessa's putting up her WBC heavyweight title on the line, as well as they're going to be fighting for the WBO light heavyweight title that's been vacated. So you got 2 belts on the line. You got the heavyweight championship and the light heavyweight that's going to be up on the line. And I think Clarissa will get her. Definitely with her speed and her quickness and just her being, saying the type of boxer that she is. Vanessa, like she's 8-1. She's a big girl, but she don't have the amateur career that at all. She don't really have much of an amateur career. But I still give this Vanessa Shields. But this is Vanessa Shields' toughest fight today. Next fight we got coming on is Israel Madrimov versus Terrence Crawford. Y'all, come on. Terrence gonna beat the brakes off this boy. Hey, he's been talking smack, talking about I ain't Earl, I ain't. He's been talking smack, but y'all, come on, man. He do what he's supposed to do. You gotta sell the ticket, right? You gotta sell the fight. Terrence Crawford's gonna beat this boy down. He gonna beat him down. I don't even want to really get into much of that. Here's fight right here. There's another underrated fight I think is out there. Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. Y'all, I want to like Anthony Joshua. I want to. He keep letting me down. I thought I was going to get to see Joshua versus Wilder, but I never got to see it because the time they was going to fight, Joshua lost. And so, I don't know. I'm waiting on Anthony Joshua to get himself back to where he needs to be, and hopefully he can fight Alexander Usyk. I'm sorry. Which this particular fight, they're actually fighting for the IBF heavyweight championship, which was vacated because when Alexander beat Tyson Fury early this year, because he already had made a deal to take a fight, the second fight against Tyson Fury, to give him a rematch in December, IBF decided to strip him from his title. So for a little while, Alexander Usyk was the unified champion, but then IBF took the champion away from him. And this is what these guys are fighting for. Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua is fighting for that championship. So whoever wins this match will more than likely probably fight either one of those guys. And we got this fight right here. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Y'all, I hope this don't happen. Another 8-rounder, but anyway, this is just a rematch. Mike Tyson hurt himself. He's supposed to be fighting Jake Paul this month, but he hurt himself. So this is the postponed fight for that date. And then, of course, the end of the year off, we got Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2. I'm predicting Alexander Usyk to beat this guy down like he did before. Moving on to some basketball, y'all. Before I jump off this thing, I got 8 minutes to really get into this, y'all. This is a question I saw on the internet. This is crazy. Check this out. Is this year's Olympic team better than the Dream Team? At this point, I think people just throw questions out there just to be trolling, just to spark up conversations. And people actually took the bait. I mean, come on, man. The Dream Team. I mean, this year team's got people like, True Holiday and Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards, which are phenomenal players. But y'all, come on, the Dream Team, the whole squad were Hall of Famers, except for, I would say, Christian Laettner, who got a Hall of Famer for being on the Dream Team. So basically, everybody on the Dream Team is, has at least 2 Hall of Fames, and then Christian Laettner getting a Hall of Fame for being on the Dream Team, but he wasn't selected by his own contribute to the NBA in basketball, only for the Dream Team. But on this squad, this new squad, I think we got 4, potentially 4, maybe 5 that can be Hall of Famers. I know LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, maybe a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Kevin Durant definitely is a Hall of Famer on that squad. So people just throw this stuff out there, like I say, just to have a debate. And it's nonsense. Y'all, moving on. I want to talk about some NBA contracts, man. Caleb Martin turns down $65 million to join the 76ers. Somebody's leaving a comment. Who is this? This is okay. Yeah. Lewis said, are you kidding me? There's a younger generation really stretching. There's, still no American League that can outrun it. Yeah, absolutely. That's just what they young folks, they want to sit around and just throw stuff out there. But Caleb Martin turned down $65 million for a $32 million guarantee to join the 76ers, y'all. And he stated his reasons that there was a lot of stuff going on that he did not like over in Miami. That must be a lot of stuff he didn't like to turn down $65 million for 30, almost half the money. Woo! I ain't mad at you, Caleb. You talking about a $65 million 5-year for a 4-year 32 to join the 76ers. Hey, he said he was at peace with his decision. I ain't mad at him, bro. But hey, we gotta talk. We gotta talk, Caleb, man. So now can Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield replace Klay Thompson? If y'all didn't realize, Kyle Anderson got over in the trade. Buddy Hield signs with the Warriors. Kyle Anderson is known for his defense. Buddy Hield is known for his three-point shooting. So did you get 2 for 1? You get 2 players to match Klay, defense and shooting. So, y'all, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I like Buddy Hield. I like Kyle Anderson, but you put Kyle out on the floor. He can get you some buckets. I think he's averaging like 8 points last season. Buddy Hield is averaging around like 15 points, whatever. He's a sniper. So, if they can improve Buddy Hield's defense, maybe this will work to replace Klay. But Klay had a strong part of that core. But last but not least, on the NBA contracts, man, listen, my man Cade Cunningham from Arlington, man, listen, this kid got a rookie extension, 5-year for $224 million, and all said it could be worth $269. Listen, I think this may be the highest rookie extension. I'm not sure, but yeah, maybe, because they throwing out big money. But 5-year extension, $224 million for Detroit Pistons, man. Listen, proud of the kid. He went out there and did his thing, got his bag. He was number 1 draft pick, rookie of the year a few years ago, and then his body work is proven to be on the top of the line. So, man, congratulations to Cade Cunningham and the extension, the kid from Arlington, Texas, man. I appreciate you. And before we get out of here, man, we got to throw this out there, man. What are y'all thoughts on the NBA Summer League? Oh, man. Listen, I think Ethan Thomas, the guard for the Warriors, is doing good. I think Kyle Ware for the Heat, big man, 26 and 11. He scored on his last outing, 26 points, 11 rebounds. I think that's tight. Ricky Council, the fourth, for the 76ers. He looks pretty good. But everybody is not really talking about the guys. Everybody don't want to know our thoughts on Bronny James, y'all. Listen, the guy already got a contract, so I don't expect him to do a whole lot. He position-wise, when he was on the first game, he positioned himself on the court well. He threw some shots. He missed some shots. He had some moments. I wasn't overly disappointed at his performance, but because I understand the business side. You don't want this kid because he already got a contract, so he's making a squad. So he's already on the squad. So it is what it is. But I thought he looked pretty well. There was some nerves out there, you can tell. But as the commentators kept trying to say, which I was tripping at first, but I agree with. Yeah, once he get over the nerves, I think he'll be a whole lot better than what we see. But it ain't like he's going to be the answer for the whole Lakers situation. And as we round off the podcast, once again, join us at the top of the hour for Facebook Talk Radio. The WNBA, real quick. Asia Wilson, to me, and right now to all of us who are watching the WNBA, is the front runner for MVP. Man, 27 points. She's leading in points. She's second in rebound to Angel Reese. She's first in blocks, yeah, and fifth in steals. So, I mean, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing, man. So congratulations. In my opinion, I think Asia Wilson is the NBA, the WNBA. She is the face of the WNBA, not the other names that I will not mention because I'm tired of mentioning these person's name. But no, Asia Wilson is currently the face of the WNBA. And that's all I have for you, folks. This your boy EC22, the FairWeather Fan Channel, man. Once again, join us at the top of the hour with Facebook Talk Radio, man. And we are